Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. Sentinels finally started practicing yesterday for the first time in 2023 with their new roster, but some scrim bugs already been leaked and some certain results happening so far. Not the same level of performance it seems that NRG are delivering, but of course it's the first day and losing is arguably learning. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thanks very much indeed for doing that on so many updates to dive into for you guys today. Firstly, this from T-Dog. We saw the drama that T-Dog came up with the other day, right, between himself and, Oxy, right, saying that G2 LFT Oxy was throwing games in ranked. Not for crypto, though, because that's one of the key points as well that's been happening the last few days. So T-Dog does a video here kind of exposing the situation, many kind of individuals that are involved in this. Apparently there's an awful lot going on that's not just this crypto betting. If you guys are unfamiliar with this, basically the idea is if, certain people that happen to be quite good in Radiant or Immortal ranked, let's say they come up against a pro player, there's websites that will allow you to bet on the results of those matches for crypto, and they can bet against themselves, their team winning, and all of a sudden they throw the game, they lose, and they make absolute bank. So it's been a key issue the last few days, and many pros as a result have decided, you know what, we're not even going to play ranked anymore, let's just set up our own Discord and play TenZ with each other, which in fairness is much more interesting to watch, but nonetheless it's still kind of frustrating that ranked is kind of ruined right now. And also, how did Riot even attempt to stop something like this? It's really difficult to figure out how you can actually deal with this issue because, okay, you can say, all right, if anyone's found to be crypto betting and throwing, we'll just ban their account forever. But how can you prove conclusively that's been going on? It's kind of difficult because you can throw a game without it being super obvious you're throwing the game. You can just make some bad decisions. And, of course, at that type of level, usually a few decisions and kills will twist the game and send it in the balance to the other direction. So, I don't know. It's a big problem right now. The pros are trying to find a way to deal with it, but for now they're just going to dip from ranked, it seems. And T-Dog did a good explanation here and it's kind of come full circle over the last few days of drama. And even Zekin says, in fairness, from Sentinels, me still having rank 1 even with all the crypto betting going on, with win trading and boosting, so it's an absolute nightmare up there at the top of ranked, and Riot are going to have to figure out how they deal with this if they at all can. Let's talk challengers rosters then. To disguise TEZ, their full Valorant team has been officially signed. Roster announcement is coming today. So of course, today is the 8th of January. Tomorrow is the 9th of January, the first day that the qualifiers begin. So I think it's an interesting decision here from TEZ. I like his idea of signing these guys, but there's been really no lead time. He's going to announce the decision tomorrow. It's going to be Steel and Exalt and those guys, or whatever the full team is, Ocean, right, and those guys that are coming along. Demon was meant to be there, but he got poached, we believe, by Evil Geniuses. But that's their team. They're expected to do okay. Will they qualify for challenges? I don't know. But I think TEZ could have gone for another option where he says, you know what, let's wait for one of the 6 teams that qualifies for the challenger side and then sign them, because of course his hope is that he signs them now, they qualify and they make it through. But it's obviously risky, right? Because if the team doesn't qualify and make it through, then all the contracts he signed are basically for nothing, because there's nothing for those guys to do for the rest of the season. So it's quite a risky move, to be honest, but hopefully it works out for them, and I'll certainly be supporting that team this weekend. Speaking of the qualifiers though, there are 6 teams that are not required to play this weekend, and that is because they've been given the automatic invites. These are the 6 teams we expected. There was an outside chance maybe that one of these teams actually wasn't accepted, and there was something else going on there that have to sign up last minute or something. But February the 1st, that's when the Challengers NA begins, and these 6 teams get the free pass there because they don't have to play through the qualifiers, and that's been confirmed in this video here. The 6 teams we expected it to be, and they come up on screen. G2 of course being one of them. There was a question whether it would be G2, but MAT there of course, they've officially made it. FaZe as well. So basically teams with some tenure here in Valorant, TSM as well, and then you've got G2 and also SR, right, which is Shopify Rebellion here, which I guess are going by Rebellion on there, which is kind of interesting. The G2 team, and of course also the Guard rounding out the 6. So the 6 teams we expected, they don't have to worry too much about trying to get through the qualifiers, but they should be the 6 final bosses type thing of when the actual teams qualify over the coming days. 4 teams will qualify here by the 13th, and then a week after that 2 more teams qualify, and more than likely one of those teams is definitely going to be hot favourites to win Ascension from the Americas region. Also this from Myth as well. I know that Coach Myth was a thing a while ago, and he says, I want to explore signing a Valorant team, paying them and then doing watch parties rooting for them. Does anyone know any free agent teams? So, Myth is in an interesting spot here really, where, okay, he can make this work, but, has he missed the boat a little bit? Because he wants to, if he wants to do this, he wants to do what Toaster's done, sign a team now that's playing in the qualifiers, and then support them in their road through the qualifiers, or maybe just, get a team that has actually qualified for challenges, but that might be at that point rather more expensive. Also, a crazy note here from the European side. Gotaga, you guys, if you're familiar with the French scene, you'll know who Gotaga is, aiming to set up his own esports organization. I think this was rumored a while ago. Now, this is crazy to me as someone who also covers the Call of Duty scene, that Whalers is going to be the first known player of the team. So Whalers is known as, well, for my opinion, he's a COD pro. He was back in the day. I think he even played with the Gotaga, possibly back in Black Ops 3. We're talking 7-8 years ago now in Call of Duty. Apparently Whalers is also good at Valorant. So Gotaga is looking to form his own Valorant esports organization where he will sign Whalers and others as the first players of the team. So pretty interesting stuff, and trying to set up an organization there in the Tier 2 French Valorant League. So that's another one to keep your eyes on. As I say, lots of updates. This is the big one though on the Sentinel side. We have seen over the last few days, we knew that even last year, Cloud900 Thieves, they were getting into practice. Evil Geniuses, apparently they've probably already been going, but that's certainly starting soon, although we see from Ethan here in a second, it's not going particularly well. Then we had just a few days ago, NRG started up. They've been looking like some pretty good results so far. Most of what we've seen leaked from NRG has been in their favour, but last night, Sentinels finally got going again. So Sassy, Pancada, they're now there in the US, they're there at the headquarters, and I mean, yeah, here we go, Pancada on the new screen. I mean, look at this setup they've got here, look at the view, absolutely stunning stuff. So yeah, hopefully it's going to make them play better as well, but here's TenZ trying to check out the fact that why is his monitor cricket or something, and apparently it's not level, but Pancada likes it like this, which is very strange, but I guess fair enough, if it works for him, it works for him. And as TenZ says, it finally feels good to be back into practice. It's been a long time, and we know that, you know, Sentinels usually don't like practicing too much, and in fairness, right, that was a Saturday. Like, you got to give some credit to Sentinels. Like, they were, I mean, obviously it's expected, right, that, you know, you practice on weekends. Esports is not exactly a normal job where, I mean, usually in esports, if you're going to take any day off, it's probably Monday after the matches on the weekends. But, yeah, still, I mean, Saturday, actually practicing on a Saturday is something that Sentinels probably wouldn't have done in the past. So I think it shows some corner has been turned here with the new coaching staff and with the new winning intention it feels the team now has. But, of course, we got immediately some leaks as a result of this, right? So the matches, of course, were going down. They were scrimming against various different teams. And the quality on these, I must admit, is largely abysmal. But nonetheless, you can see some of the numbers. So here we go. This is actually the best quality one. They played, I guess, against the Sonics team, where zyppan was spotted down 5-13. Funny, really, the best quality one we have is the one that they were losing the scrim. But, yeah, here they weren't having a great time. So, of course, yeah, it's their first match. And again, like, the scrims really don't matter that much. I mean, it's interesting to see the results and how things were getting on. But the reality is, it doesn't really, it's not incredibly important what numbers they drop in these scrims. It's more about learning to play together as a team. And in fairness, right, a lot of these tier 2 teams, the likes of Sonics, right, are going to be rather good. These aren't the teams like G2, for example, or the Guards or M80 that have officially qualified through the challenges. These are the teams going to go to the qualifiers just tomorrow. So these are going to be well-refined teams, practicing for weeks at this point, and Sentinels just getting into it. It's their first scrim, finding out roles, figuring things out, taking it easy. But, you know, of course, we're going to get this stuff leaked, and therefore we've got to talk about it. So Sentinels not having a great time here against Sonics, it must be said. There was also this one up against, you know, Odorous' team here. He was formerly a version 1, but you can see here this is 9-11. It feels like that's 11-9. Obviously, there's, you know, if there was any more pixels, I would share them with you, but this is all we've got. But, yeah, so at this point, Sentinels down 9-11 in this particular match. They're playing up against Odorous and his new team in the Tier 2 Challenger side. There's also this one, which I believe is 4-3, it looks like. This is up against Drone and Trick, and these guys, it seems like this is 4-3 for me. This is early days, of course, in that particular game. And then there's this one that they're winning 14-4. Don't know who this was against, though, so I think it's kind of unclear. I think they were in the same game maybe as Pancakes, but he wasn't actually playing this one, so not exactly sure who they were practicing against here. But still, that's the information we have as it stands. So Kaplan, of course, has joined their coaching staff, Dephh, TenZ on the roster. So yeah, kind of a mixed bag early on there for Sentinels, but it's a little bit interesting just because NRG, they've been playing against G2, and I think it was Cloud9 played against G2, but actually NRG have been playing other teams. But nonetheless, NRG, pretty much all the scrim bucks that we've seen from their games, they've been dominating everyone, but Sentinels so far maybe not looking quite so good. But of course, it's absolutely right at the start of them starting to practice, literally their first day, and yeah, there's a long time ahead. And they weren't even all there in person, because I guess their first team photo here was with zyppan on a laptop, because I guess he wasn't quite there. So it's a pretty funny photo, right? They're all in a team room here, kind of discussing scrims, or, you know, tactics and stuff like this in a boardroom, basically, and they've got zyppan on the screen. So it looks like great vibes, and I'm sure there's going to be some phenomenal content coming out of that camp over the coming months. Quick note as well on Evil Geniuses here, because Ethan says, moved to LA and I had an appointment set up with AT&T to come connect my fiber. The first day I'm here, here, I get a call saying it's cancelled and they might take a week to fix the issues. This is not ideal. So Ethan's moved out to LA. I'm guessing just because, I mean, the matches are in LA, they've got to move there. Not sure what Evil Genius's status is on starting their practice, but nonetheless, he's out there, right? But he's basically got no internet. So what's he going to do? Is there a facility they can use instead, potentially? But yeah, not ideal for the state of maybe their practice or just, you know, things in general for Ethan not going so well, especially in a rather crucial time here in the early part of January to prepare for. It's not much longer than a month at this point than the teams fly out to Sao Paulo for the first and arguably biggest event of the entire season. Funny thing from Ye as well, after he said yesterday, honestly, the new Valorant map is something or other. I know that 100 Thieves were giving their kind of disapproval towards it in a video and just the map design in general over the last day or so, but yeah, Ye doesn't want to comment too much further on that. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, take care, and I'll see you next time.